Live from downtown Spokane, this is 4 News Now at 6.
And it's great to have you with us here tonight. I'm Jordan Smith. And if you have plans this evening to close out your weekend, you'll want to know about some rain in the forecast. Right off the bat, we'll kick it over to meteorologist Matt Gray, who's been keeping an eye on that system. Matt, what can you tell us?
All right, so we keep seeing little sprinkles from time to time. Occasionally a heavier burst of rain will come through. We are seeing some rain that the radar is actually getting a good beat on. And sometimes these sprinkles can quite literally fly under the radar, at least the radar beam. But we have some heavier rain pushing in towards the Spokane area. We'll talk about that in a second. We also have some wet weather crossing the Palouse. That'll be into the Pullman area as we head over the next hour or so, Pullman and Moscow. We're also seeing some light rain to the north of Deer Park, so that's going to be in places like Chewelah and Colville and down into the Loon Lake area as well. So overall, we have seen mostly just sprinkles, but some of this heavier showers are starting to make their presence felt. So in about 7 to 10 minutes from now, we're going to start to see that rain push into Cheney, Reardon as well. Also starting to see a little bit more of that heavier rain. Spokane is about a little over a half hour from now in the downtown area. That's when we're going to start to see that rain pick up here, and that'll last for a good 20 to 30 minutes or so before we ease back down. Temperature's still warm. We got back up into the 40s today. We have one more day before things start to cool off, and we have to start talking about wintry weather again. That's coming up in your full forecast.
All right, Matt, thanks for that. And we now know the name of the woman who was killed near Boone and Cedar back in July. The Spokane County Medical Examiner says 30-year-old Stephanie Stein died because she was strangled. Stein's boyfriend, Corbin Hood, reported her death back in July. Spokane police have enough probable cause to arrest him, but he's currently at a corrections facility in Florida for unrelated charges. His extradition is pending. And Moscow, Idaho has been in the national spotlight for 2 months since those 4 University of Idaho students were stabbed to death in a home near campus. A gag order has been issued by a judge, which means no attorneys or investigators can talk about this case, and new information may be hard to come by in the coming months. Kohberger has waived his right to a speedy trial, giving his defense team more time to prepare. That means he won't be back in court until June 26th. The defense now has months to build a case, and part of building that case is filing a request for discovery, which the defense filed on Tuesday. That requires the prosecution and law enforcement to share all the information they have on this case. Spokane attorney Bevan Maxey has stood as the defense attorney for many high-profile cases. He says the defense's request for discovery will give them key pieces of evidence.
The obligation is not just to turn over the bad things, but also to turn over those things that could be looked at as being positive on behalf of the defendant.
Maxey said the defense team will argue in the preliminary hearing that there's not enough evidence for this case to go on to trial. Meantime, on the other side of the argument, the prosecution already had enough evidence to arrest and charge Kohberger. That was outlined in the affidavit of probable cause. But they won't stop there. Again, Kohberger's next court appearance will be on June 26th, and that'll be his preliminary hearing. And the father of one of the 4 University of Idaho college students murdered back in November says it's just, quote, too painful to follow the news on this case. In an interview with CNN's Anderson Cooper, Ben Mogan described what his daughter Madison was like and called it surreal to see news about her death.
Maddie she was just fun to be around. She was just smart and funny and beautiful, and she was a good friend. She could have done anything she wanted to. She was so bright and so good with people and just had a magnetic personality.
And Brian Kohberger is being held without bail. He faces 4 counts of first-degree murder and 1 count of burglary in the fatal stabbings of those students. If you're driving along I-90 or in the East Central neighborhood, you've undoubtedly seen that fencing and security at Camp Hope, as well as how much smaller that camp has become. At its peak, that homeless camp held over 600 people. Tonight, less than 200 are calling it home, and that number continues to drop. Back in October, businesses in the East Central neighborhood voiced their frustrations about crime that they say was stemming from the camp. 4 News now spoke to businesses about how they're feeling now that the camp is shrinking. The fence around the camp will start to move in within the next week or so, while businesses around the store, like the one on Thor, say that things are starting to get better. Crime is still an issue for them, and as soon as you step inside the store on Thor Street, you will see a wall of photos, people who are no longer welcome back. Manager Michael Bell has seen the camp change from afar.
I've noticed the getting smaller. There's been a lot of wonderful reports actually from some of the people that used to live over there at the camp. It is shrinking. People are getting help. They are getting the sources that they need, it seems like. So yes, I have noticed that.
Camp Hope managers brought in cleanup crews like the ones you see on your screen now on Friday, and they were getting rid of the trash that was left behind by former residents as they prepare to start shrinking the physical size of the camp. There's still no set date to fully clear the camp. Meantime, tonight, the Spokane Fire Department says cooking caused a home to catch fire in the Northtown area this past Thursday. Fortunately, nobody was hurt in that fire. The department just wants to remind you of a couple of safety tips. Make sure to always keep a lid nearby when using a stovetop. If a small grease fire starts and you have an oven mitt on, use that to smother the flames by sliding it over the pot or the pan, then turn off the burner. Leave the pan where it is and wait until it's cooled to remove the lid. Never use water on a grease fire. If fire happens inside the oven, turn the oven temperature off and keep that door closed until those flames are extinguished. Demand for diabetes drug is on the rise, but not for the reason it's intended. We'll show you what's causing this ahead. Plus, the country honors the legacy of Dr. Martin Luther King. Tomorrow, how Spokane in-person celebrations are making a comeback after 2 years.
And the best chance of rain over the next 12 hours comes in the next couple of hours. You want to have the raincoat handy as we head through this early part of the evening. Should be a drier day for Martin Luther King. We are going to see, though, some more active weather later in the week. Your extended forecast comes up right after this.
4 News Now on your time with Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram.
4 News Now is brought to you by Northwest Motorsport.
Going on now. It's the National RV Show at the Convention Center downtown. There'll be amazing RV discounts and a huge selection of units for a variety of traveling experiences. And now for the first time featuring tiny homes, tons of vendors, and free admission. It's the National RV Show, the 12th through the 16th.
Ironstone Furniture and Fire is making room for new inventory. For a limited time, you can create your ideal space and save on in-stock selections, sofas, chairs, tables, and more. Comfortable and beautiful furniture makes a house feel like home. Visit our showroom, Ironstone Furniture and Fire in Coeur d'Alene.
Your TV shows change. Your TV bills don't have to. Get the same bill every month for 3 years.
Dad.
The 3-year TV price guarantee, only from Dish. Tuned into you.
Dad?
January is Plinko Money Drop Month, and we're giving more people a chance to win more money. You can qualify all month long to win. We're making it rain cold, hard cash, baby. We'll also have lunch and dinner specials, spa specials, and room rate specials. Midweek rooms at the Kootenai Falls Lodge are $79. Weekends are $99. The only way to win at Plinko Money Drop is to play Plinko Money Drop. So call 888-YOU-ARE-LUCKY or visit KootenaiRiverInn.com.
Entresto is the #1 heart failure brand prescribed by cardiologists. It was proven superior at helping people stay alive and out of the hospital. Don't take Entresto if pregnant. It can cause harm or death to an unborn baby. And don't take Entresto with an ACE inhibitor or aliskiren, or if you've had angioedema with an ACE or ARB. The most serious side effects are angioedema, low blood pressure, kidney problems, or high blood potassium. Ask your doctor about Entresto.
Going on now. It's the National RV Show at the Convention Center downtown. There'll be amazing RV discounts and a huge selection of units for a variety of traveling experiences. And now for the first time featuring tiny homes, tons of vendors, and free admission. It's the National RV Show, the 12th through the 16th.
4 News Now is brought to you by the Coeur d'Alene Convention and Visitors Bureau.
Martin Luther King Jr. Day is on Monday, and there are some city closures that you need to know about. Spokane City Hall, along with other city facilities, including Spokane Public Libraries, will be closed. Garbage pickup schedules will stay the same, and parking in downtown will be free. From 10 a.m. to noon, these streets in Spokane will be closed for the Martin Luther King Jr. Parade. There will also be no street parking on Bernard and Washington from Spokane Falls Boulevard to Riverside Avenue because of that parade. And the pandemic has put a strain on many community events, including the events commemorating Dr. Martin Luther King Jr.'s life. As we're finally returning to those in-person events, community members are staying busy and gearing up for tomorrow's events, getting a head start today. KXLY's Peter Choi joins us with the story.
Hundreds of people are here today at the Holy Temple Church singing and worshiping together after 2 years of hiatus, commemorating the legacy of Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. and sharing his message of unity and love for the community.
Come on, come on, come on. The excitement of greeting one another and putting hands together for songs air at the Holy Temple Church Sunday afternoon.
Work well as a group with being one voice, and that's what was missing.
The community member who's attending the worship service today says for her, the MLK Day is more than just a day to remember Dr. King's legacy, but also bringing the whole community together.
The days pre-COVID, in the midst of COVID, we were just, okay, the holiday came and it went. Now we get to, today, this weekend, we get to come back out, be together, reintroduce ourselves to each other physically, spiritually, and emotionally.
Along with young kids, learning and celebrating the MLK Day.
To celebrate after his birthday for freedom and stopping segregation.
The best part is we're able to unite in person, you know, after Zoom meetings and not being able to gather. This means a lot after 2 years.
For about 1 mile, thousands of community members will gather in downtown Monday morning, marching together from 10 until noon. After the march, the community center is holding the resource fair at the Spokane Convention Center for anyone in need.
It's mostly education. Some organizations will have resources regarding their services. The health district will be on hand to give out flu shots.
And that's what the march is about, is having people remember what it's about, bringing people together. But yet, there's work to be done.
In Spokane, Peter Choi, 4 News Now.
Wonderful to see everything kind of coming back towards normal after a tough couple of years for all of us. More things that you got to know about your weather. It is going to be better for MLK parades around the region tomorrow, that is for sure. Overnight rain showers, foggy again in the morning. A little bit of mountain rain and snow that may translate to a couple more sprinkles during the day, but most of us will stay dry, and the next big storm coming in for Wednesday. Here's the rain that's moving in right now, and over the next kind of hour to hour and a half around Spokane and Coeur d'Alene, we're going to see, as you see in this radar loop, we're going to see that heavier rain move in as this storm continues to push its way across the northwest. So here's the simulation here as we go through the evening. This is going to go till about 11 o'clock or midnight that we're going to see some of this more impactful rain. It's going to be more than just a sprinkle around the metro area. After that, things will be a little bit calmer. Snow high up in the mountains. Kind of looking at tomorrow, the computers are all over the place. Certainly a chance for a couple of showers around the Columbia Basin. Mostly, I think, though, this is going to be up in the mountains. And once again, maybe a sprinkle or two in the afternoon. And I really believe most of this moisture is going to end up in Montana. One place to look out for some slick conditions, though, on your Monday, that is going to be Lookout Pass. We're also going to be watching that fog with all the wet weather that's going to be moving through tonight. That is a great way to see more fog. And we already had some pretty dense fog this morning. And so you can see here right across the West Plains, everything really starts to thicken up as we get into that morning time frame. So just something to keep in mind and add a little bit of extra time if you are out and about Monday morning. Lows tonight, mid-30s, so still staying above that freezing mark for most areas. A little bit of freezing fog, maybe some slick conditions in parts of Moses Lake and around Ritzville and Adams County. As we go through the day, Not too bad in the afternoon. This is going to be our last day of 40s, though, for a while, so at least enjoy some of the milder conditions. We are going back to feeling a lot more like winter. One of our warm spots, places like Moses Lake, like Lewiston, getting in those middle 40s. We're going to be all in the 30s by the time we get to just a few days from now. Speaking of a few days from now, let's hit the fast forward button. Let's take you through the next 4 days. Here is early Wednesday. This is when the next storm is going to be. We'll see a couple of little showers high up in the mountains. But here's what happens. Early in the morning, snow up in the Cascades. How much moisture gets across and how early it shows up, well, that's still a bit of a question. But so far, the models have been trending things a little bit later, so that would put more snow than rain. But either way, it is going to be a wintry mix, likely slicking things up for your commute on Thursday morning. So that Wednesday into Thursday morning time frame, keep an eye on that. We're going to get more details here over the next couple of days in that part of the forecast. Also keep an eye on Saturday. A little bit of snow working its way out of the north into our region.
Good information there, Matt. Hey, thanks for that. And now it's time to go for a ride on the Air 4 drone. This week we're giving you a bird's eye view of one nature preserve that has miles and miles of trails and access to the Little Spokane River. Let's fly above Waikiki Springs behind Meade High School.
Welcome to the Waikiki Springs Nature Preserve. It's 95 acres here on the north shore of the Little Spokane River between Dartford and the Kalispell Golf Course. This is an area where there are 114 acres of Washington Department of Fish and Wildlife land in addition to the 95 acres of the Waikiki Springs Nature Preserve, which creates about a 200-acre open space for the community, the public to come and recreate. Waikiki Springs comes from a geographic function where springs of aquifer water actually leak out of the hillside in quite a large volume, to be honest with you, and that recharges the Little Spokane River. So the trails here begin with the trailhead up off of Mill Road at the north end of Fairwood. Then the trail inventory begins with a road that the local longtime users call the Switchbacks, and that road allows you to walk down into this basin, and then you have a number of single track trails go around the property. It's one of the things that the Inland Northwest Land Conservancy is working on these 95 acres is to come up with a trail plan and to improve the trails so that they're more user friendly. So the Inland Northwest Land Conservancy is a local land trust that has been in Spokane since 1991, and in that time we've conserved over 22,000 acres. We have a number of different nature preserves from Reardon to Palisades neighborhood west of downtown to this nature preserve, the Waikiki Springs Nature Preserve. This is just a beautiful place to come and park and go for a hike, bring your family. I just love the Little Spokane River. It's beautiful all 4 seasons and it's very welcoming. It's full of nature, it's full of wildlife from bald eagles in the area to moose, coyotes. You'll see lots and lots of different animals down here.
Some stunning views from up above there. That's a great story. Meantime, we'll turn our attention to the demand for a diabetes drug that is on the rise, but the reason for that demand is being called into question. The drug semaglutide was initially marketed under the name Ozempic to manage type 2 diabetes. But last year, it was approved by the FDA to be used for weight loss under the name Wegovy. But now, the drug manufacturer Novo Nordisk is struggling to meet demand.
It really is becoming a problem for our patients that are dealing with type 2 diabetes. But then again, our nation is, there's an epidemic of obesity as well, and we need to treat the obesity to prevent the diabetes in the first place.
And according to the CDC, more than 37 million Americans have diabetes. 90 to 95% of them have type 2 diabetes. Stick around. We'll be right back.
Download the 4 News Now app today.
Those responsible for making our local roads and highways safe for winter travel would like to remind you that snow removal is an important, critical, and precise task. Please give the right-of-way to removal equipment so we can all get where we need to go quickly and safely.
The epic sell-off is on now at Furniture Row, and when we say it's epic, We mean epic. Shop today and find everything on sale. That means epic savings on sofas, sectionals, and accent chairs. Epic markdowns on dining groups, tables, and bar stools. Epic deals on bed sets, dressers, mattresses, and adjustable bases. Plus, get 3 years, no interest financing. Epic styles, epic selection, all with epic savings. Find them today at Furniture Row.
It's a new year and time for a new you. Come see the coolest cars, trucks, and SUVs at Max Autosports during the New Year New You sales event with rates starting at 1.9%. Cars from $199, trucks and SUVs from $299. Plus Max lifetime powertrain warranty at no cost. Get what you really want with our best sale ever. Get $5,000 over KBB for your trade. Out with the old and in with the new you. Hurry, it all ends Tuesday only at Max Autosports.
It's a 4-day price crash today through this Monday at all Cal locations, where they are loading up the lots with hot buys and big markdowns, plus giving you up to 110% trade-in value for your old ride. Today through this Monday at Cal.
It's time for a new shower, but you don't want the hassle. You just want it done. Rebath. From start to stunning. Call us or visit rebath.com and save $1,250 off your complete bathroom remodel.
We all have to-do lists that can be a mile long, especially when we're short on time.
Come to Kerner Furniture during our January clearance sale and check some items off.
Do you need to find the best place to binge that show or finally read that book? Check.
The perfect venue for family game night. Check.
While you are here, check out our great selection on everything from bedroom sets to coffee tables, all at low January clearance sale prices.
Great selection and low prices. Check.
Kerner Furniture's January clearance sale, going on now.
Winter weather means hazardous driving conditions. If you must travel, follow these guidelines to keep everyone safe. Slow down and keep a safe following distance. Use traction tires. Give snow and emergency vehicles the right of way. Carry an emergency kit. Brought to you by Lakes, Worley, Post Falls, and Eastside Highway Districts.
Well, all good things must come to an end, and for the Seattle Seahawks, this improbable run they've had over the last 4 months ended Saturday afternoon at the hands of their division rival San Francisco. And there'll be time for reflection, but this game was one that they could have had in advance. Now, towards the end of the third quarter, Seattle was only down a touchdown and driving deep in 49ers territory. But after Geno Smith was stripped, it all began to unravel from there as San Francisco scored 25 unanswered points in the second half, and they put up more than 500 yards on the afternoon en route to their 41-23 win. And even though they've exceeded everyone's expectations just to get to the postseason, it's still a disappointing result.
The suddenness of this finish is just what's so striking right now, you know, that we all of a sudden you're done. We weren't thinking that way. I mean, we were thinking something was good was going to happen, and we were going to knock these guys off, and we were going to keep going.
What I can take from this game and really this season, out of all the great things that we did, all the accolades, all the great stats, there's still so much room for improvement. So many ways we can be so much better, and I believe it starts with me. So, you know, the new season for me starts today.
After winning their previous 3 games by a combined 8 points, the Gonzaga Bulldogs needed a statement win to help reestablish themselves as a dominant force on the national stage and to keep their chances of a #1 seed in the NCAA tournament alive. On Saturday night, they certainly showed why they're one of the best programs in the nation as they routed Portland 115-75. 6 Bulldogs scored in double digits, including guard Malachi Smith, who scored a game-high 27 points off the bench, and that included 7 made baskets from beyond the arc. But this team was also able to make it happen on the other side of the ball, forcing 19 Portland turnovers. And when the game was well in hand by halftime, it's a chance to get the starters some rest after a difficult stretch and to empty out the bench.
Just to maybe not have to sweat it down to the last possession or two, and to get all our guys in that deserve to get in, you know, and it's important to get them in. So obviously that's what makes it nice.
To have them come in and play is awesome. You know, and it was a good week, good way to end the week. And then we got 2 more big ones next week, so we're going to be fresh and ready to go for sure.
Bulldogs will now welcome in Loyola Marymount on Thursday evening. The Zags haven't lost to the Lions since February of 2010. Now, staying in the college basketball world, the Washington State Cougar women made a bit of history today, getting their first road win over a ranked team since 1998 in their 85-84 win over the 21st ranked Oregon Ducks. Bella Murukatete led the Cougs in scoring with 20, and Charlize Ledger-Walker had 17 of her own as Wazoo picks up their 13th win on the season. Now, just a
few years ago, this win might have been viewed as some massive upset, but now it's the expectation for the program.
Again, a big statement for our program and where we are, and the expectation now. I think our standard is that we want to beat anyone that we play, and we put a weekend together in these two games that was worthy of wins, and we played for those wins. We got those wins, we earned those wins, and that's what we need to do at home and on the road. And
Cougs will now return home this week as they welcome in the Los Angeles teams. First up is a matchup against USC on Friday evening. 4 News Now, we'll be right back.
Stream 4 News Now on your TV for free with the KXLY Plus app.
4 News Now is brought to you by Foothills Mazda.
In therapy, there is promise. Each step forward is an achievement and a gift of hope. And at each hurdle, an encouraging hand. Joya, every child is limitless.
The 4-day holiday clearance is on now at Walker's. Save big on Beautyrest Black and Serta iComfort mattress sets. Or say yes to no interest, no minimum, and no money down financing today through this Monday at Walker's.
We already know Washington State is dead last, 50th out of 50 states in available housing supply. The good news is Olympia leadership can turn this around. Here's 3 common sense reforms we need from legislators. Allow more housing types like duplexes, triplexes, and condominiums. Increase density near transit centers. Cut through red tape limiting new construction. Join our Welcome Home Coalition. We can act to welcome more families home.
The other day, a hornet's nest fell on my head. It's not ideal, but we'll manage. Just like I manage without home internet. Sure, I wish this hotspot was a lot faster, but my phone works. Sometimes. It's not that bad.
Ew. It is that bad. Don't settle. Get Xfinity Home Internet for just $19.99 a month for 1 year with a free streaming box. Call, click, or visit a store today.
Are you ready for this? Ready to take chances? Will you push and break your limits? Are you ready to be a legend? Are you ready to fight to be fearless? Are you made for greatness? This is your moment. Are you ready for this?
It's time to start the new year off right in a new Toyota from Findlay Downtown Toyota. The new 2023 models are available, which means you can now order your style, pick your color, and build your Toyota just the way you want it. I'm thinking red. And if you're looking for a certified pre-owned vehicle, we've got over 3 blocks full of great choices to make your 2023 the best year yet with a new vehicle from Findlay.
Findlay Toyota's downtown.
Not so fast, Omicron. New updated COVID boosters are now available to ages 6 months and older. So maximize your protection against Omicron and help reduce the spread. Book your updated booster with your pharmacy or healthcare provider.
All right, if you're getting ready to head out the door for a little bit of fun on this long weekend for many of us, you can see that rain starting to move in. Airway Heights starting to see some rain right now. Downtown Spokane and the Valley won't be too long before it starts dripping pretty good.
Thanks for that, Matt. Thanks for joining us. We'll see you tonight at 11.
Sign up for breaking news alerts with the 4 News Now app. See breaking news in your area or have a story idea? Contact 4 News Now.